Fiddle again. And hello, it's Fo, and welcome back to Turbine City. Last time we'd made a few brash decisions all at the same time and kicked 25,000 people out of their homes. But they seem to be coming back in. I think they've forgiven us. I think what we might want to do is use some of this space along the back here and extend this medium road. It might help with our terrible traffic coming from the oil industry. And it'll give us a little bit of space to do something we haven't done before, which is zone a little industry that's specific to oil and that can use the natural resources there. Might want to do the same up in the ore industry if we've got any space. So we'll create a district. We'll tell it to specialise in oil. And then next time we get a need for some industrial, some factories will start building in here. With any luck, it'll provide more customers for the Danny refining site. It'll stop them complaining about a lack of customers. Might be able to help that problem out as well. Whenever we set up a new industry area that specialises in a certain thing, we should set up a warehouse for it. So we can get one set up here, switch out one of these ones that are doing commercial goods. Maybe the one closer to the area will be better. Run this one all the way over here. Keep switching things around, see if we find a magic combination. So we'll call it the Oak District. Goes along with the Oak Station. We've got our report through. We're still losing students, but oh well, I'm not too worried about it at this point. I'm sure it'll go back up again. Maybe give the grant, see if that draws some people in. We can get the price turned back down on this. I think the price creeps up by itself, but we want it nice and cheap so everyone can come and see. Don't want people to find it's expensive. The main thing we need is farming industry, because that helps us unlock another one of our unique buildings. So we'll create a district over here, and yeah, that'll kick everyone out, all the factories along there that are doing generic industry stuff. It'll bring in farming specific industries. That'll help get us started. I think we need 5,000 squares of farming industry to unlock the unique building, so let's get the name changed. Call it just Elizabeth Square. Again, overlapping Elizabeth Fields. Seems fine. Run out of names if we keep using different ones. There's full warehouses of just commercial goods. Gonna try to empty them and spread them across the city a bit. A little bit of micromanagement. Switch up what the warehouses are doing. As I say, there's maybe a magical combination that we'll just hit. I definitely don't think we need multiple full warehouses of standard commercial products. We can use one for our zoned farming industry products. As I say, when we're creating these districts, we probably want to set up a warehouse for each of them. At least until we get things shuffled around. At least the warehouses that have unique factory products designated have actually stuff going in. It's not a lot of stuff, but there is some production going on. I'm going to extend the oil industry over here, so eventually when we move some of the unique factories, we can maybe separate out the collection of the oil and the processing. It might help. When we get over to the other patches of natural resources, we can move some of the assets as well, rather than creating new ones over there. So, we'll let these guys grow back in. They seem to be coming in at a decent rate. I think we'll get back up to the 140,000 no bother. We'll see how far past it we go with all the improvements we made with our renovations. We can make a couple of districts over here. One for tourism and one for entertainment. We'll make the tourism one, again, further away from the housing, just because I feel they're going to be louder buildings. They're certainly taller, so I presume the noise would be worse. We can start creating boundaries, get a bit of zoning in, along the lines of where the specialised commercial is going to be the normal. Get some extra roads in. It is looking a bit sort of sparse. I don't want to waste any space. Certainly in a megalopolis you wouldn't expect much wasted space. Power cables, get them out of the way. It's looking a little bit better. We're almost back up to the 140,000 now, so it's not been too savage a recovery. We should have maybe done one little bit at a time rather than all at once, but never mind. We live, we learn. I thought they would quite happily just rebuild their homes and be alright with it. They obviously weren't. A lot of them left. But maybe we replaced them with better people. Or they just went away, stayed in a hotel for a few weeks and came back. I'm sure they'll appreciate their super modern, energy efficient homes now. Speaking of energy, we'll get this hooked up. Keep getting our services in. Make sure our health is good. Looks like it's time for some more equipment. Maybe if we run a few right up to this bridge, we get maybe 4 or 5 pumps and then 4 or 5 outlets. And give ourselves a little bit more of a margin so we can turn the budget back down while still meeting the needs of the city. We'll get all these hooked up. Maybe get it hooked up in a couple of places, like either side of the bridge. It let us build the bridge up and over them before when we built around the bridge last time, so I expect this will be much and such the same and we won't have to move them from here. I think the problem is when you put too many outlets next to each other, the volume of water that's spitting out is potential to cause flooding. So we'll keep an eye on it. As you add in more, especially outlets, you want to check the water level. Obviously when we get down to the sea we'll be able to sort out proper outflow pipes. We can actually use the proper ones. Until then I think we just need to add a few more pumps than we need, just to keep it balanced. So we'll get some of them in, and then we can take down the budget by a bit. We'll try 90%. So we've almost finished our road network down here. We won't build too close to all those water outlets. Been eager to get across the river so we can get our ferry stops connected, because it won't let us make a path for the ferries. There's not enough of the river within the city limits, as it were. Once we get across the river as well, think about creating the second campus area. Then they can compete for students. A healthy competition will be good. If we give them their own varsity sports stadiums as well, that'll be more attractions for people to come and see. It'll create more teams. Maybe get them customized as well. Have a bit of fun there. I think this is a good enough gap. I think we're far enough away down this side of the road from the industry that we can have housing down here. As always, we'll create a barrier of commercial in between the housing and the industry. That's generally the best technique when you're not using a lot of space. I think this whole square here could probably be industrial. It's a decent central location to feed out to all the shops. Some fantastic shapes it's making. I don't think it's going to be much use to have a one deep industry. Again, I don't want to get too close to the residential. Maybe just have that much. Bring it right back, just so these guys get a few more squares. That should be enough of a barrier. And we've got a lot of medical buildings there as well, so if there is any pollution that manages to get over to the residential, I'd like to think we've got the healing capacity to fix it. Everything can be densely packed in as long as you're fairly sensible with the order of the zoning. Obviously, if you're less concerned about the number of people you've got in the city, you can spread things out a little bit more, keep things properly away from each other. I tend to play for sort of maximum efficiency of space, sort of pack everything in and spread it out a little bit if there's problems with the traffic, something like that. I think we can fill this area all in with residential. Get a path hooked up before we zone it in. This area is certainly shaping up. We've still got a high number of people adding to the population every cycle. The growth is certainly better than it was before. We've sort of caught back up to the same place of 140k, but the growth rate is certainly a lot better now. We'll hang fire on the zoning for a second and let them all keep coming in. Here's a shot of the Donut Mall. It's a lovely asset. See if we get a wider shot. You can see the clock tower there as well. Yeah, the place is looking great. Our citizens seem happy and healthy. Obviously the renovations that we've made and the unique buildings that we added have had a positive impact. We've got a few more things down here. We'll have to try and get them connected with road access. I'd love it if they would just accept pathway access. So I would feel that would make enough sense. Let's see if we can get a few lined up and then maybe get a road down behind them. This marina is quite big. Let's see if we can get it. See if that's close enough. Doesn't look quite close enough. That should be close enough to the road as it stands. Yeah, that's not a problem. Beach volleyball court won't let us build right on the edge of the water. Riding stable's a larger asset, but it's quite nice. We'd like to get it in. Must be power cables along here. Still not taken out. Oh, there we go. It seems fine. Do like the skate park. Use this a couple of times in the city, I think. All good neighbourhoods should have a skate park. Keeps the kids out of trouble. Alright, let's see if we can get this connected up. If we run the game... No, this one doesn't seem close enough to the road. Still not happy with this. Not even with pathways in. Yeah, if there was a mod that made these buildings happy enough with a pathway rather than wanting a road all the time, I would download it. It's a bit annoying. So we'll get a little road out, see if we can get them hooked up, see if we can satisfy them. That seems to have done the job. Does look like they're experiencing a little bit of flooding though, sort of intermittently. It looks like our industrial zone's filling in the best. I think that'll be the first one we need more of, so getting a touch more now. Wait for everyone to come in, get our demand back up again. Looks like we're happily cruising towards 150,000, so whatever we're doing it right. Don't know if the game sort of tracks your progress towards getting all the monuments down or having the different unique buildings unlocked. I don't know if that has any effect on the rate of population expansion as dictated by the little smiley face. I'm not really sure what governs that. I think the child and elder care is certainly helping with that. We may as well zone in this light residential while we're here. I think you do need a good mix of low density and high density residential. Caters to different types of workers, different types of citizens. We've definitely got a better mix now that we've got those different types of buildings in as well. Changed Walnut Hills to Saggy Hills. Walnut Hills sounds rude as it is already, so that little one seems to still be flooding occasionally. Just get rid of it if it's going to keep on and off flooding. We've got pumps here rather than outflow pipes, so maybe add another pump. Maybe try and have that magic ratio, pumping out more than we're putting back in, to the point that it lowers the general water level of the river. One outflow here that's not hooked up for some reason, we'll get that done. We just want more pumps and outflow pipes. Oh, suddenly everyone's happy again at the university. Could just be the average age of the population, fluctuating all the time. We'll have a look at the schools again at some point, make sure we've got enough in. We always seem to be a little bit behind on getting the elementary and high schools in. Might be stopping us getting the full attendance at the university. So we'll try and make sure we've stopped the flooding. Again, maybe adding more and more isn't helping. Maybe we want to delete a few things and up the budget rather than having all this equipment. I think if we put all the outflow pipes down here, it'll end up flooding. So this be spitting out water in every direction, all at the same sort of point in the river. Don't think the river is moving fast enough to take it all away instantly. We'll try it. Move a few more things down here. Move a few of the water pumps further up. See if it starts to flood and then balance it all back out again if we need to. That'll be another good reason for us to buy the tiles across the river. When we get access to both banks, we'll be able to spread out these machines, and hopefully that'll lessen the negative effects, and that'll give us a little more room to play with access to riverside property. It's always a higher land value property along the river. So I think commercial properties would like it if it wasn't so strewn with these pumps and outflow pipes. Yeah, it looks like things are starting to get a bit wild. It's often a good idea to save your game before you mess about with things at the riverside. And pause it. Then if you pause it, when it comes to unpausing, suddenly a big disaster happens. If you've ended up doing any sort of terraforming or move things around to a decent degree. Now these guys got no power. That's not going to help. Everyone's going to have a lack of sewerage. A minor flood. See if that sorts itself out once these guys come back online. I'll just keep messing around with it. Adding a few more water pumps. Trying to put them just ahead of where the flooding's happening. See if we can pump away all that extra water that's getting spat out. We need a water treatment plant to unlock one of our unique buildings. Maybe pop that in. Don't know how much that pollutes the water. Can't be much if it's processing it first. See if we can get away with using the eco one. It just says water treatment plant, so I think we'll probably just have to go with the standard one. There's no point in putting down the eco one if it doesn't unlock it. Pop down the standard one. Get it connected up. See how bad the damage is going to be. It can be like a bit of a test for the medical services as well. If it starts contaminating the drinking water and people start getting sick, we can test our resolve and our healing capability. Placing that should have unlocked our tax office. Get this place somewhere in the city. Still got a few things that we can't really unlock because of the mods we've got on. So we will have to go back and do another nefarious side mission. Oh, this is not bad. Sort of 3/5 away there for zoning that specialist commercial. And at some point we'll have to go back and do another mission, side mission, to unlock a few more things. Have to turn off the mods that auto-empty the graveyards and automatically delete the abandoned buildings. Have to get them turned off and go into a later save where we've got the trains unlocked so we can put down 7 train stations. So that'll be something to do when our population growth stalls out in the main city. We're looking for an interesting side mission. Just gonna finish off this area, ready for all its fantastically entertaining and tourist attracting buildings. Just do a little bit more zoning, then we'll go. But we've made it to the 150,000. It's a good point to leave it for the day. Pretty sure we will be buying squares next time. Expanding out over the river to at least give ourselves more space to put in more residential. So we certainly won't have any more room in amongst all this noisy commercial. And as I say, hopefully it'll give us an opportunity to sort out any potential flooding problems we've got with all our water equipment. Maybe create the second campus. So plenty to do. Until then, I'll leave you with a nice cinematic. Take it easy, stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.